All right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News this week. Let's see, we got to thank our marketing partners. Can't do without them, right?
Well, gotta have those. I'm not as lucky as athletes.
We got to thank S&N Communications for coming on board this year. Fast Eddie's Barbecue, man. I had barbecue for Friday. I skipped on Sunday, so I think. But
I had barbecue the next day.
Yeah.
Let's see, that was last Tuesday. I had it Wednesday and Thursday. Didn't have it Friday or Saturday. And I had it again on Sunday.
Did
And
you?
still got.
Oh yeah, I had on Sunday too. I got to thank Papa John's and get your Dotson 25 with your 25% off Papa John's pizza. Mayhem Company. RDS Performance. Old Nine Toes himself.
Nine Toes Skinner.
That's what we named him.
Nine Toes Skinner.
You can laugh.
Yeah, go ahead and laugh. It's fine.
I mean,
What's
it's a
up,
clever way
Nick?
to try to have to get your you get the card number the same as your toes,
Works out. Well, and it's 09 and 9, so it's perfect.
That's right. You just start off with the 0, right?
Oh, no, the O is for the top toe that's missing.
Got to thank Mean Dean Automotive with Grier and Associates, and they are in where they at?
Where they at?
Boy, North Carolina.
Got to thank Sammy Gator for Gator Graphics, Southampton Motor Speedway, Mosquito Joe's.
Southampton Motor Speedway
Mm-hmm.
this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have the
They're gonna have a pool?
The one-on-ones oval drags.
Oh, okay.
This weekend. I was asked to come up there this weekend, and I told them no, sorry, Richmond comes first.
Yeah. Got to thank Mosquito Joe's. Get 50% off on your first months of service. Try them out. Pepsi and Mountain Dew is kind of mine and Jack's drink of choice. It's not very healthy for us, but as you can see, we don't mind drinking it.
No, I don't mind drinking it at all.
We have Aquafina water. If you like water, if they make it.
I think we
So we want water for when we got Pepsi.
Waltrip Pressure Washing Solutions with Turn 2 Synthetics at Hunter Waltrip up. Safety Clean and Performance Plus Motor Oil. I thank Langley Speedway for allowing us to make this our home with Bill, Chuck, and Terry, most importantly. Bondrich Brothers Distillery. MPM Marketing with Tanya McAllister. Black Acid Racing Apparel. Slinger Speed Company hit old Tim Brown up. Factory Canopies and Fluid Logic. One day we'll get Todd and them. We'll nail them down one day. We might have to chase them. Or just have to skip to Charlotte.
To Charlotte to do it.
VA 811. Last but not least, GAC, Great American Company. This guy's been with us for a good while. What's up, Eddie? Me and Jack were just talking about how much barbecue we've had the last week.
I've enjoyed having all that barbecue this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. When you get good barbecue.
I missed the barbecue.
Yeah, you should have been here last week.
Jeez.
Adam, see, he didn't even get any. He showed up late, I think.
He had like family dinner or something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some news from this week, and we're going to let Atlee we start off with his Langley Speedway Pit Road Roundup.
There was a lot.
We have
this weekend.
We have a lot to talk about here.
Adam said, "Don't do too good of a job."
I'll try not to, but it was a beautiful day at MGO Granite Race Night here on August the 3rd at Langley Speedway. Had a nice day of practicing and kind of qualifying. In the Bandolero division, we saw Penelope Carlisle grab her first pole of her career. So that was a big one for that team. She was coming off a win at the summer shootout. She won the final race of the beginner Bandolero. So that was a big win for her. I think she was about 900ths ahead of second place Landon Burbage. In the legends, Tommy Jackson grabs the pole. And he was about half a tenth ahead of Cody Carlton in second. And then we had 11 out of the 13 U cars qualify, and Jesse Jones was on the top of the board with Thomas Fontaine in second, and then started to rain, pour, and they had a driver's meeting, talked about what they wanted to do. There were a lot of hands up for just pack up and go home, and so that's what we did. They called the race, and that was that for MGL Granite Race Night. But had a decent amount of late models show up for the 100-lap race, had a lot of good field of grand stocks, good field of super streets, super trucks. I think enduros. So man, wish we could have gotten the race time in, but it was
that outside pit was full of
yeah,
cars.
there were
I mean, that
7
was-
divisions in the outside pits. It was wall to wall, door to door. So
How did you do on your first time in the pitch? I'm sure you got your feet wet a little bit.
yeah, so I was really Adam, he couldn't make it this weekend, so he's down in vacation in North Carolina. Hopefully he's on the beach, so I hope he can make it back safely with the storm going on. But
If he doesn't, you can fill him. Right?
absolutely. But Chuck, he came up to me on Wacky Wednesday last Friday, and he's like, "Hey, how would you like to do the pit road reporter since Adam can't be here?" So I'm really thankful for the opportunity. I had a lot of fun, getting my feet wet with Buck up in the booth. I enjoy working with Buck, and I mean, I like to try my best to just take advantage of every opportunity I'm given. So, I mean, I had fun with it, and I wish I could have done more. It was over so soon.
I got a bone to pick with you, though,
What's that?
with your pit road reporting down there.
What's that?
You walked by me twice and didn't even stop and ask me for an interview.
Well, I mean, according to Jared, you're not that famous, Jack.
I'm not worried about what Jared thinks. I'm not worried about that.
I mean, you do enough interviews. You're on here every Tuesday. Everybody hears you.
Hey, I was waiting. I wanted to be interviewed by a pro.
It's true. It's true. Well, just next time, just tap me on the shoulder and be like, give me an interview right now.
Oh. I hollered at you. You
I
ignored
had a
me.
set of headphones on.
Well, maybe you did. I don't know. But we were standing back there behind Aiden Millet's car.
I was right over there. I don't hear you. I'm sorry.
We were standing over there, and I said, "I'm gonna get him." You did. You looked so professional walking around there. That's pretty cool.
You hurt his ego.
You did hurt me, so that's exactly right. And here I am thinking you're a pretty special guy. Come up here and sit up here with us. I got you to come in here and
The favor wasn't returned, was
No, I didn't even want to talk to you.
Well,
I looked up one time, he was walking, gone past down.
Chuck said he had to do important people, Jack.
yeah, I was told I can only interview important people here at the chat. So I don't know.
Well, me and Chuck will have a talk about the important people. Anyway, all right.
You didn't hear that from me.
All right, some more news. The Cars Tour was at Wilkesboro this past weekend.
And who was the winner?
Well, in the pro late models, Tristan McKee got the
Yeah,
win.
that was a good run too.
Yeah.
I mean, he earned that one.
He did pretty well. Now, the car in the late model stock car division, the car that went across the line didn't win. Went across the line first, did not win. That's two. Yeah, that's right. That's two races in a row. Yeah.
Well, who was there last week?
Millington.
Millington, and he dumped.
Oh yeah,
Connor Hall.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
So-
I'll tell you what, Connor, he got. I mean, Connor's had a ton of luck. The last couple of weeks, he ain't had very good luck.
No.
I felt sorry for him, see him run around there with the car tore all up and everything.
Yeah.
And he got a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, did he for what?
Something with a part, unapproved part or something.
Hmm.
Or a tire. That's what it was.
Huh.
Used a tire. Okay, wow.
So Trayton Lapsevich went across the line first, and today he found out he didn't win. So Corey Heim ends up with the win. So that's a pretty good deal. Another one of Lee Pulliam's cars.
Yeah.
He was chasing Tristan in the pro race. He was
Yeah.
right there.
At Bowman Gray in the mods, John Holloman got the win, and the sportsman, Zach Orr. Dominion Raceway, the Virginia Racer, race number 1, Connor Waddell. Bando's Tuggy Case. That's a cool kid. I talked to him a lot Saturday when he was in the pits over there. And he's a cool kid. I'm going to get him on the show before long. Legends was Leighton Harrison, and the other Virginia racer, Chase Johnson, got the win.
Yeah, I seen Chase post pictures that he won.
Yes. Down at Dixieland Speedway on Friday night, super late models, Dustin Mitchell. The modified lights was Kim White. Super Streets, Larry Jackson. And the Sport Compact was Rylan Lindsay. So, some news from around the racing world this week. Travis Peterson, the crew chief for Michael McDowell at Front Row Motorsports, is going to be headed to Spire Motorsports to be the crew chief over there with Michael.
I was wondering.
So he's going over there with him. That's a pretty big deal for him. I heard him talking on the way down here tonight.
But it seems like they got some good chemistry.
Yeah, they said they kind of had this when they figured out their contracts were running out at the same time that maybe they could work this out, and it did. This weekend at Richmond and probably the next couple weekends, the crew chief on the number 20 car for Chris Bell is going to be Chris Sherwood, my buddy Chris.
That's what I thought
get an opportunity. He's going to get an opportunity to be the crew chief on that car for the next couple weeks, and I can't wait to see him at Richmond. Well, he's not going to be at Richmond. Yes, he will. He'll be at Richmond.
Yeah, if he's a crew chief, he is.
Yeah, he'll be at Richmond.
This is why you didn't interview him.
Hit him. Of course, we all know about Connor Hall's going to be driving the truck this weekend at Richmond. We're going to have Bill McAnally on here in a few minutes to talk about it. You know, he got one of our Virginia drivers driving one of his trucks, so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
A couple big races coming up. The Joe Huss Memorial that was rained out earlier this year is going to be run Friday and Saturday down at Halifax County Speedway. I won't be able to make it. I was kind of looking forward to going to that because they got the big thing going on for Joe, and I was hoping to be there, but I won't be able to make it now. At the Dominion Raceway, the Blake Harris Memorial Race and Barbecue Cook-Off.
Is Eddie going to be there?
Huh?
Is Eddie going to be there?
Eddie ought to go and be in the cook-off because I think he could win it. I think he could win it. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be Blake Morris. His daddy is Philip Morris, and he's they do a memorial race for him every year. So that's going to be a big deal up there for that. And that's all the.
And I want to say about Bill McAnally truck. That's good equipment, right? I mean, that's
Eckes has done well on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're leading the points, right? And I think if they have a good run, they'll be the season champion.
Yeah, I think so.
On Saturday. So, that's what somebody was telling me the other day.
Yeah, that would be.
Jack, Eddie needs a sponsor. Jack will send you a check.
I'll send you a check. Just don't cash it. You'll be all right.
You just put it up on the wall.
Say, look, I had a sponsor.
Frame it.
That's right.
But yeah, he's got a. But I was looking today. I was told last week when the announcement came out, I was told that Kevin Bellacourt was going to be his crew chief.
Well, I know you said that.
He's not going to be his crew chief. It's going to be somebody else. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So anyway.
Was Kevin going to be there, or is he working?
I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. He was on the 91 car with Jack Wood. Jack Wood's been running the 91 a lot this year. Mm-hmm. He was on that car as the crew chief. Wasn't listed on in being crew chief.
I think sometimes when you have these different drivers come in, I think it kind of depends. I mean, there's a couple different scenarios. Sometimes the crew chief's always the crew chief on that truck, and then sometimes they switching out depending upon the driver and how that goes. I mean, maybe he's got a relationship with I forget who the crew chief's going to be. Maybe
I don't know who that is, but anyway, Scott and I'll be heading up to Richmond Saturday, see the races up there and see what's going on. And
yeah, can't wait to see how good the truck race goes for Connor, and then see our buddy Rajay Caruth. It's always good to kind of bump into him and see his family. So it'll be a lot of fun. Donald Brown, what's up, fella? He's in Mississippi. He said he was going to be down there doing something. Probably just pointing to people, telling them what to do.
Oh, he's down there for the storm?
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't know until the other day that Rick Paust is out to see you again.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's.
I knew he was going or something.
He's on his sea trials right now. He's going to be gone to the end of the month, and he's going to run that race at the end of the month. Truck race. He's going to run that, and then the next month, I think he's going to be gone for 6 months or something like that. Anyway, so that'd be cool to see.
Somebody on here was talking about your shoes were fire and they wanted to shoot some shoes like you. What kind of shoes did you have?
They were purple and white Jordans. So I put on my best for the pit reporting duties.
I see.
No.
Well, I know some people I think that's why Buck wears some bright shoes so Brian can see him on pit road, you know.
Yeah.
Is that why you were doing it, or you just showing off?
I was showing off, and but
he was showing off. He was showing off.
I was showing off. Yeah.
There ain't no other way to say it. He was doing.
I mean, I don't blame you, but if I had a pair, I'd wear them too. But.
Oh shoot! Oh yeah, that's a good point. Well, Pablo Montoya and a drive for 23XI.
I know that was you didn't. That wasn't in your news, Jack. Well, Juan Pablo running.
I don't really care about Juan Pablo that much.
Did you unplug us again? I ain't got you unplug me again.
There was some other news release. I think Bristol Motor Speedway announced having a baseball game at the track.
Yeah, that's right. The Reds and the Braves are going to play at Bristol Motor Speedway. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's
they already did the football game.
It was
Virginia Tech and Tennessee. Yeah.
Huh. That'll be interesting.
Joe Rondo says, "Good job on pit road, Atlee."
Thank you, Joe.
You must have interviewed him because you didn't interview me. So I ain't gonna say you did a good job yet. So anyway, Heather Ziedrich. Hey guys, good having them back here again this week. That was cool to have him here.
The jet dryer hitter. I know. He'll never live that down.
I don't want to phrase it like that. I want to be like the one person that.
Poor guy couldn't help it. He hit the.
I know. He's like a champion in IndyCar and F1, and we remember him for a jet drop.
I know, right? I like Clint Bowyer's like only one. Only one.
All right. Well, we're waiting on Doug Richard to come hook up with us.
To hook up with us?
No, not that kind of hook up. So stop. Don't even go there, Scott. Why are you laughing?
I mean, just the way Jack phrases things sometimes, I just can't help it.
You maybe could have phrased it a little bit better. Connect with us? Or, I don't know.
What are you doing?
He always tells people at the racetrack, he's like, we're together. And what? Not like that.
No.
Atlee. You know, I'm losing a lot of respect.
He said he's been told worse by better people.
I saw you shaking your head.
Let
me see what's going on with Doug Richard here real quick. Y'all go ahead and talk about Agent Atlee's driving.
Why don't you get interview? You can't word things correctly. Yeah, well, neither one of us can word things correctly.
Who is that?
Who's driver of the week this week, Jack? The rain?
Yeah. Whoever was driving the pace truck. in a jet, or when they were riding around the track.
The person who laid down the speedy dry at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, he ought to be, because he laid down enough of it.
Oh, yeah. It covered the track.
He had a bunch of it down there. So y'all go ahead and talk about Atlee's racing career. Don't talk about his interviews.
How was your Hampton Heat?
My Hampton Heat went really good. I achieved all my goals. My goal was just to try to complete as many laps as I could, and I did. I finished 2 laps down, but I crossed the checkered flag, and I got 25th out of 37 cars. So I mean, I was happy with that. I mean, I kept the car clean. We were able to race the next weekend, and I had a lot of fun.
You're running the limited, right, in the late model, so you're a little bit handicapped.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, no, I think you did a great job. It's in one piece. You finished all the laps. You didn't get tore up.
And it was a good experience running the late model
sure.
trim, because it was definitely different. Just those extra 2 inches just gives you so much more grip, and it was a lot of fun to drive. I actually enjoyed it. So hopefully maybe make like another late model start. I think there's one more I could maybe run in September. So we'll see how that goes. But
so was it exciting running with Dale
yes.
being there?
Oh yeah. No, I mean, on the Friday practice, I went out there and I was actually in the pits, and here he comes around my outside, and that's when it kind of hit me what I was kind of doing there. I'm like, holy moly, that was Dale Jr. And you know, I talked to him. He's super nice. He was loading the car at 5 in the morning after had some steaks. Yeah, no, that was really cool. That he
Did you go
came
down
out.
and eat steak with him?
No,
Oh,
but
didn't get an invite?
I gave him one of my shirts though, so he has one of my shirts now.
Oh,
You
maybe
probably
he'll
see
wear it
him.
on the show. Maybe he'll wear it on
He
his.
said he's gonna try to wear it on the show.
Okay, well, that'd be good because I saw you had Phil Warren's on,
Yeah, he wore that one
Nice.
for a bit,
so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
but he is a Phil fan.
So I mean, you know, that had to be. You met your goal of what you wanted to do was bring it home in one piece and finish the race. You got a lot of seat time in that race
Yeah.
to see what
yeah.
see what it was like.
So what was your plan going into the race? Were you going? Did y'all have a plan? And, you know, I mean, we knew everybody was going to ride.
Yeah.
For the at least first 100, maybe the first 125, 130 laps, and then maybe pick up the pace. Was that kind of your strategy?
Yeah, that was pretty much my plan, is just to kind of ride, you know, for those first 100 laps. If somebody wanted to go by me, I wouldn't push them. They can just kind of just held the bottom, let them go around the outside. And then I kind of kept that up until about lap 150. And then that's when the pace around me started to pick up and the lap car or the leader started to come. And I raced hard with a lot of guys, a lot of good guys were back there with, you know, I think ran around Terry Carroll. That's who I was close with for a lot of the race. Fortunately, went for a little bit of a spin in 3 and 4, got hit by another car, but we recovered from it and made it back up and passed some cars and finished. So, I mean, I'll take it at the end of the day. It was a good night.
For sure.
All right, let's get Doug on here. Let's get and talk with him.
What's up, Doug? How you doing, man?
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's happening, man? I haven't seen you in a long time.
Well, you know, I haven't been out and about too much lately. I've just been staying busy around the house and working on some Trans Am car and some old cup car stuff and doing a lot of things I haven't done in my 47-year career.
So, but do you miss going to the racetrack all the time? I mean, you know.
Well, you know, I miss the people. You know, I know the faces have changed a lot and all that, but sorry, dogs in on me. You know, I do miss the people, but you know, it's like as soon as you get there and then the weather's goofy and all that, man, I don't miss that part at all.
So other than doing the Trans Am stuff and other stuff that you said you were doing, is that all you do? You do any talking to any of the race teams about helping them out some or anything like that?
Well, you know, I put several resumes in and all that. You know, that racer's job thing, you know, comes about as you know, I'll put it out there, you know, and just see. There was some, you know, technical director positions and things like that would have allowed me to stay back at the shop, which I enjoyed that. You know, being able to just stay in that environment and work on the setup stuff and, you know, doing that sort of thing. But you know what? That's called crickets. Like, not one reply back like, oh, no, Doug, sorry, ARCA filled the spot. No, it's crickets.
That's kind of, you know, with your resume and everything that you would have, you know, that would be something it seems like they would pull to try to get you to come help them out.
Well, you know, I don't know. I think, unfortunately, the model nowadays is, you know, you got to be 25 to 30 years old and have a degree in science and engineering degrees and all this stuff to get in there and work good, I think. So my college education has been doing it all these years. That's my education, hands-on.
And starting it very early when you started
okay.
out. So, you know, you did get a big education at it.
It is. And you know what? I don't regret any of it. I feel like I can put myself into a situation and figure out how to get out of it. You know? how to solve things, how to build things. Now you know, I work on race cars still. Like I said, the Trans Am stuff. I can I'll go out in my shop and do woodworking, or I'll turn right around and weld some legs together to bolt on my live edge tabletops, and then okay, I'll powder coat them too while I'm here.
Well, you stay busy. That's the key thing. You stay busy with it.
I am, and trying to just work a little bit at getting some stuff online on the website. My website's Fastwood Customs, and I try to put tables on there and doing some metal art, different things like that. Just trying to get something going, I guess. Just try to make use of all this stuff I got out in the garage.
The last time we had you on the show, one of the things I was wanting to ask you, and I don't think I ever did, was about your time with Daryl Waltrip and Jeff Hammond and all those guys when you were over there. What was that like? Because we've had Jeff on here a couple times, and it was hilarious.
I mean, I had a blast, because when I first went to juniors is when that year that Dale Earnhardt Sr. went to Bud Moore's to drive. And then when he went to Bud Moore's, I went to Junior Johnson. So that was 82, I think it was. And it was like we kind of went into that role of the co-crew chief thing with me and Jeff and Mike Hill. And you know what? It didn't really matter then. Like the title didn't pay the bills any differently, but when we could win 11, 12 races a year, that was gratifying. Daryl was in his prime. The crew was good. We kind of did it all. It was small. Me and Jeff and Mike, we were. Whoops. My alarm.
You didn't round the up.
But those were good times.
Well, we were asking Jeff about it, and I was talking to him, and he made the comment that when they got together, him and Daryl got together and everything. I said, well, the rumor was you didn't particularly care for Daryl Waltrip. He said, no, that wasn't no rumor. I didn't like you.
How can you not like Daryl and Stevie though?
That's right, exactly.
We still, we still stayed in touch, and still do now, right? I mean, they were good support for myself when, we were coming to the end with Robin there and all that, and they were right there for me, and good to talk to some people like that and kind of help you through situations.
Yeah. And Daryl always seems to be that type of guy that, he tries to help everybody he can, but and keep them in an even keel. And I think that's what he does.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Yeah.
Daryl's, we from the day one over there, it wasn't like we were on some big pedestal. We'd get off the airplane and go to the ice cream creamery in Michigan, and we would see how many big ice creams we could all devour before we hit it to the room.
Well, times have changed though, haven't they?
Well, yeah. Nobody really wants to go out nowhere anymore like that. We didn't care. I like the people. The people's what makes a sport.
Yeah.
And when y'all traveled back in those days, I mean, it was like a whole family traveling together. I mean, everybody was out and about, hanging out with each other and everything. That was really, really the good times.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it wasn't that we were traveling in a van to get to the racetrack, we were just starting to get on the King Air 90s and stuff,
Yeah.
Living the life.
Yeah, that was like, oh yeah, especially when I was able to get in the passenger pilot seat. Hey, what's these controls do? I don't know.
Right. But they didn't let you fly it, right?
No, they weren't that comfortable with me. I don't think I would have been that comfortable with me. But I've always said in a situation like that, I spent a lot of time in those planes, and you can see exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
I feel like if something happened, I could land one.
Well, I hope you don't have to find that out sometime.
No, but it's like you always got to challenge your mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. Well, look,
Hey, the scary part is, after 47 years of hanging around NASCAR, I am actually taking up and starting my driving career at 64.
Are you really?
That's what I've been doing with Dana Blackhurst. He's involved with the Chandler School down in Greenville, South Carolina. And this school that he supports and he's created is for dyslexic kids.
Oh, okay.
So it's a younger crowd. It's from kindergarten to like 8th grade is the children that they design the learning habits for. When people have a disability of how they comprehend or how they try to learn stuff, they create a special program for them so those kids can learn. Well, part of the involvement is trying to get involved. He wants me to help out with the ACE program, which is when we take kids and go to the track and let them see things hands-on. You're not going to read the book to see what happens when it comes in. This is what has to happen. Now we come in this time and this has got to happen. You got to adjust on the fly and learn those things. Learn about the vehicles. Learn about a go-kart. Take a motor apart. Clean the carburetor out. This is life here. But this is what we got to do to survive.
and that's what we need to do to get kids and everybody involved in stuff like that to get them back into sport and help them understand the sport.
Well, people take up their careers early in life. I'm one of those. I left California when I was 16.
Doug, we got an offer here. Mark Wirt says you come to Langley, you can drive one of his late models.
Mark Martin?
No,
Mark Wirtz.
Hey, I'll drive.
Come on up to Weather. He's got one for you.
Well, hey, we'll get hooked up. I don't know why I'm wanting to do that. I mean, all I've done is had this. Dana's got this old Cup car. It's an old Dodge Kyle Petty car that they had donated to the school, and so I drove it at Road Atlanta. I was like, well, it's pretty fun. So let's go again. We were going to go to VIR this weekend, but it's going to be a little wet.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, next time you go out to VIR somewhere, let me know. I'm gonna come out and watch.
Oh yeah, I could be fun to watch.
Yeah, we'll do that. And Mark Wirtz said he said let's do it. We're gonna get you in the car.
All right.
I mean, he sat on the Hampton Heat pole, so I mean his stuff's good stuff.
Oh well, he's probably a way better car than I have. But you know what? You never know until you try it. And I've never tried it.
So come on up here. Let's give it a shot.
It's just 2 more hours east.
Hey, that's it. It's 2 hours to go to Greenville. So.
All right, Doug. Well, we appreciate your time. I'm glad we were able to catch up with you and see what's going on with you. And hopefully we'll see each other at Stocks for Tots this year.
Oh yeah, I look forward to that. I like to do that again. You guys take care. Hold the fort down.
We're going to do it, man. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
All right, guys. See you.
All right, thank you.
Doug.
You got to talk somewhere along with Adam.
I mean, what a cool. I mean, he definitely has a cool story of getting in the sport. I mean, he was like 16 when he moved here from California, and I think he was 17. I don't even think he was 18 when he became the crew chief of Dale Senior.
So I mean, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Next person up is my buddy Bill McAnally. I tell you what, I'm glad I got to talk to this guy today. How you doing, Bill?
Did you put a good word in for Connor?
Doing real good, guys. How are y'all doing?
Good, man.
We're doing good. And you know what? We are so happy that you got one of our Virginia boys driving your truck this weekend.
No, we're excited for Connor. I'll tell you, he's been putting in a lot of effort, and we are prepared and ready to go.
How much time do you spend looking at guys like this? I mean, Connor, he's up here, he's invincible almost here at Langley Speedway. But I mean, do you keep up with all that when you're looking for somebody to drive? Do you go back and research all that, or how do you go about picking a driver? I guess is the best way to say it.
No, we're always watching what's going on in the Tour Series and at the local tracks. We watch the national points and the state points, all the different points battles, and see who's up there and who's doing a good job, and see how they are on the track and off the track, and what they could bring our program if we're able to help them. Always looking for the next great talent out there. But Connor's done an amazing job. There's a lot of great drivers in that car series and in the NASCAR Weekly Series. You get back east there, the Virginias. I mean, I got to spend many of our awards banquets they'd have when we'd get our K&N West championships. There'd be the national champion there, and I got to spend a few dinners with Lee Pullum and his wife and some of the great drivers from out there. And man, they race a lot out west where I'm from. Our Saturday night tracks, they're you got to pick a track and go to it, and we don't have the 2 and 3 tracks close enough to participate in. It's just a whole different demographic than they've got out there. Heck, they can race 3 times a weekend, if 3 times a week if they want to, and some of them do it. It's crazy what they put into winning that national championship. They win that national championship back there. They are a racer, tried and true.
Yeah, you got that right. And Connor, I mean, he's the defending national champion. He's
leading the points.
number 1 in points again this year for the national championship, and I think he's first or second in the cars tour. So
yeah, well, it
I mean,
depends on this week.
he's a heck of a race car driver.
No, he is. He takes care of his equipment and is there at the end. And I'll tell you, all the effort he's put in preparing, watching film, and coming down, spending time with the guys in the shop, being at pit practice with them, getting a chance. He got up in the truck and drove it on the chassis dyno. He drove it some around the shop. We always leak check the trucks around the shop, and he's been there and part of everything. And I know he's got with Christian Eckes and talked to Christian a lot, got a lot of insight from him. But this is his type of racetrack. There's no doubt about it. I think Connor Hall, to enter the Truck Series, it's a great track for him to start out at. And I'm proud to have him in a truck, and it's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. I'm proud of the effort he's put into making this happen, and he deserves a good result. Realistically, we'll go out there and finish every lap and finish in the top 15. That's a good weekend in the trucks for starting out, and that's our goal, is to get all them laps in and get him in the top 15. You be running there towards the end of the race, anything could happen. So we'll see how it all plays out.
So you're still involved in a lot of stuff on the West Coast too, right? You're still doing that out there too?
Yeah, we went ahead and bought a shop in Statesville. It was a shop that Bill Elliott built back in 1999. Matter of fact, Mike Beam built it for Bill, and they raced out of it for several years. And then when Ray Everham did the Dodge deal, he started it in that building and then expanded, built a couple more buildings. But it's a great shop with a lot of history, but it gives us some stability and a home that's ours on the East Coast. And on the West Coast, I've got 2 Napa Auto Care Centers here, and we run our ARCA West program. I've got 2 cars running in the ARCA West. Matter of fact, this weekend when we're at Richmond racing 4 trucks, we'll have 2 ARCA West cars up in Tri-Cities, Washington. Pretty exciting. We hadn't been there in 22 years, but I want to be at Richmond with Connor driving and Christian looking to clinch the regular season championship. We've got a great group of Napa people coming out to root us on. Instacoats on the 19 truck, they're going to be there. And then Connor's got his sponsors coming out. It's going to be a great weekend, having Christian locked in the playoffs, and Tyler, having Tyler and our 18 team locked in. We're only 5 points out with Daniel Day. We could get there with Daniel Dye, and look forward to seeing if we can get those 5 points. It's a big weekend for us at Richmond, and having Connor making his debut just adds to it. But the West cars will be up there in Tri-Cities, Washington. We haven't been there in 22 years, and it's actually a Napa Auto Parts 150 up there. They just announced, I think it was yesterday, that Greg Biffle's going to run the race. So
Yeah.
got the Biff back in the Washington State where, you know, he's his old romping grounds, and it'll be a great race there in Tri-Cities too. But a lot of racing going on for our BMR, MHR teams this weekend. That's for sure.
It's gonna be a busy weekend for you, and keeping up with all them trucks up here at Richmond and everything going on. That's got to be a big task to take on.
It is. We've got, you know, we've built a great team. We've been building a culture and a brand for ourselves in the truck series, and we've got, you know, great drivers, great crew members, crew chiefs that they take a lot of that load on and make it all digestible and easy to do. You know, Led, we've got just everybody from our truck teams to our general manager, Chad Norris, Charles DeNike, our lead crew chief. Mark Hillman's been with me for 7 years. He's the crew chief on our 18 team. And we got Kevin Bellacourt that looks after our 91 that Connor's going to be racing. Darren Farley's our head engineer. He's going to be taking the reins on the 91 for the race at Richmond. And Chad Norris will be helping him some, but they'll do a great job. Kevin will be at Tri-Cities with Jack Wood. He's third in the West points too. He's running select truck races for us. Conflict in the ARCA West, it opens up that 91, and that's how we're able to give Connor a chance to come out and drive for us.
Well, I'd like to say we appreciate you giving our local guy an opportunity. But Bill, did you ever think when you were racing and when you first started your relationship with Napa that you would be in the position today where you're at?
Not at all, man. I was just trying to put tires on my old street stock when they started helping me week in and week out, and just fortunate. It's a great company with a great tie to racing, and I had a guy give me a piece of advice early on. He said, Bill, we love your racing. Our customers like it. Our employees like it. But at the end of the day, we're all about selling auto parts here. That's what really matters to us. And as long as your racing's helping us sell auto parts, we'll have a long relationship. So I took heed to the advice he gave me, and we've continued to work on making our race events sell and reward store owners and shop owners for a good job and selling parts. And it's continued to grow every year. And like next year's, it's Napa's 100th anniversary next year, and it will be our 35th year with Napa Auto Parts sponsoring our race car. I started racing at the entry level in bomber cars at All American Speedway in Roseville, California. And they came on board when I started racing the premier division at the track. It was a pro stock, they called them, kind of the limited late model of today. And they came on in 1990. And fortunately, we went on to win our first season together. We won the NASCAR Winston Racing Series championship that year at the track. So it was a great way to start a relationship. And no, I never thought it would go 35 years. They've given me opportunities to run cup races and to run truck races, and the drivers that we've had come through our program that Napa's helped. I mean, Cole Custer, Chase Briscoe, Haley Deegan, Jesse Love, Todd Gilliland. I mean, it just goes on and on. The drivers that we've been able to work with through our Napa support in our Napa race cars out here. It's been a lot of fun, and we're continuing to do it now in the truck series with Christian Eckes and Daniel Dye and Tyler Ankrum. Just a great group of young drivers, Jack Wood, now Connor Hall. You just never know where this is going to go year to year, but we're sure enjoying it. Racing the trucks is a lot of fun. It's probably the most competitive thing I've ever done in my life. You blink your eyes, you have a bad pit stop or get a speeding on pit road or anything happens, boy, you could be out of the top 20 in a blink of an eye in the truck series. So to build a program where we've got 3 trucks fighting to be in the playoffs is pretty impressive. And that says a lot for the people working on these trucks, because that's what makes the difference. It's the people tending to all those details that make you better than the rest of them out there, you know?
So, I mean, how do you keep up with having part of your stuff over on the West Coast and part over here on the East Coast? I mean, where is your centralized location?
My wife and my kids and my in-laws and my family is all in Northern California. And so I reside in Northern California, but I spend a good bit of time in Statesville, North Carolina. And American Airlines loves Bill McAnally. I didn't know. I never thought I'd fly this much in my life. I just got awarded something I never even heard of before, Concierge Key. It's the top of the top, they said, in flying. So you get that, you know, you're flying way too damn much. Got to figure it out. And there's some nonstop flights that give me back and forth. And we go back there and we stay a few days and get things as much done and as accomplished as we can. And I go back and forth. I'll leave tomorrow night. There's a red eye that leaves here at 10:30 at night. It'll put me down on the ground there at 6 in the morning. I'll be in the shop by 8 o'clock. By the time I freshen up and change clothes, I'll be in the shop 8 o'clock and get a day in. I'll be dragging about 2 or 3 o'clock. You don't want to ask. You don't want to be asking for any parts or pieces from me about after a red eye flight. But the next day I'll be caught up because you gain that 3 hours. And
yeah, that's right.
Catch up. My body don't even know what time zone it's on anymore after the last couple of years going the way we've gone. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's a lot of fun, and it is the most competitive thing I've ever done in my life. This NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is it takes all you got, man.
Well, I tell you what, we appreciate the fact that you got Connor in your truck this week, and we're all coming to Richmond to watch Connor and see how it does. And hopefully we'll see you up there and hang out with you for a little bit.
No, please do look me up. I look forward to seeing you guys. And yeah, we're excited about Connor. This is going to be make it a very special weekend for us. So we'll see y'all out at the track. Thank you guys for what you do. Appreciate it. And maybe we'll have something to celebrate at the end of the night.
Let's do that. All right, man. We'll talk to you again real soon. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Bye-bye.
I mean, he is one of the coolest guys, one of the nicest guys. And I say that about a lot of guys because we're very fortunate to know a lot of nice people in the sport.
He's got such a resume too. I mean, it's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. I mean, Napa and him is synonymous.
Yep.
I mean, that's the first car you think of Napa.
All right, let's get my man Doug Rice on here.
What's up, Doug? How you doing, buddy?
Gentlemen, how are we? Man, I'm following a hitter if I'm on after Bill McAnally.
Yeah,
we saved the best for last.
Hey, that guy's, well, I don't know about that. That guy's a player. I got introduced to him out at Irwindale Speedway probably 20 years ago, and he's remarkable.
Yeah, he is. All he's had going on and all the people he's had come through his program is unbelievable. So
I mean, that and the relationship he has with Napa. I'm a Napa. I have a Napa Auto Care, so I kind of know some of the behind the scenes stuff that they have a great relationship, and that just speaks volumes of the person of Bill.
yeah, he's a pretty special guy. All right, Doug. I've been trying to get you on here ever since you made the announcement this is going to be your last year with PRN. And that's kind of sad for me because I've been listening to you for a long time.
Look, Doug's not that old.
Oh, he's not. I didn't say he was old. I've been saying.
I mean, that's what it sounded. I mean, you're old, so I was thinking when you say a long time.
All right. Well, I'm okay. Never mind. I ain't going into that.
Well, I'm 69, just for the record.
Well, I'm 62, just for the record.
Okay. So I'll put that out there. I'll probably put that out there.
But I mean, it's going to be sad to see you go, but hope you have a lot of good stuff planned for your retirement.
I think we do. The wife and I talk about different things every day. I plan on still being involved in the racing world in some way. Maybe still doing my Fast Talk radio show, probably substitute hosting some over on Sirius. I've talked to them about that. So I want to keep my hands in it. But as far as going out and traveling, listening to Bill McAnally, he's got it different. He's first class if he's that level on American. I'm not. I'm row 18, seat C. So I feel like that's where I live. So I won't miss that part of it, but I'm going to step away from the play-by-play of doing NASCAR races. I may dabble some and do some college football or some other sports on the side, but I won't be traveling to the races anymore.
I was thinking about when after I got you to come on the show, I was thinking about the first time that I actually got to meet you. We were on a plane or getting on a plane.
You were on row 18?
In Tampa. I think it was in Tampa. We were going to Lakeland to the Hooters Cup race. Weren't you?
Yeah.
And I got a chance to talk with you at the airport, and that was really cool to hear some of your things that you got going on.
That was, that whole experience working with that series, the Hooters Pro Cup and Late Model Series, that was awesome. They were some really good racing, and guys that are a big part of NASCAR now were involved in all that. And I practically lived at Lakeland Speedway for 2 years in a row. I think they ran down there like 4 times a year. I knew my way around the Tampa airport pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. I mean, it was a fun series. My son was involved in it, and it was really fun to go out there and watch them race. It was like old time racing again. Yeah, and I enjoyed it.
No, they did really well, and it was competitive, and they did a pretty good job of keeping the costs down too.
Out of all the things you've done in your career as a lead anchor, what are some of the things that stick out in your mind? Some of the most memorable things that stuck out in your mind?
Well, I guess number one had to be 2016 when I went and did what they named it the Doug Double. I did not come up with that. And I did the broadcast for the Indianapolis 500. I worked the pits for the IMS radio network. And then they put me on a private plane, myself and Alexis Erickson, who was sort of documenting what was going on. And we flew back to Concord. And there I anchored the Coca-Cola 600 that day. So I did both of those races in the same day. To this day, I'm still the only broadcaster to work both of those events live at the venue. So that had to be that's way up the mountain of things that I got to do. And that was really special. I remember it all very vividly. We went up on Thursday. We were up there for Carb Day, all of the festivities leading up to the 500. And I finally got to see what that was all about. I'd been to Indy a lot with the NASCAR races, but had never been there for the Indy cars. So to see that and watch that unfold, that was the pinnacle. And, special races. We called the race where Kevin Harvick won after he replaced Dale Earnhardt, not replaced, but filled in that 29 car at RCR, and he won that day. And that was a fairy tale type day. I did the broadcast for Jeff Gordon's first win, Tony Stewart's win at the Brickyard when he won there the first time, and that was huge. There's a lot of key days, and you remember. I remember first-time winners and breakthrough winners. It was exciting to call Daniel Suarez's win out at Sonoma, because he hadn't done anything. And anytime a guy wins the first time or breaks a long losing streak, those are real memorable. There was a time there when we did races, and it just seemed like we'd show up, and we knew driving up to the racetrack, Jimmy Johnson was probably going to win. And I'll be honest, a lot of those are a blur, and that's not a dig at Jimmy. That's just how good he was there for a while.
Yeah, I can see that. I think he practically owned Charlotte for a long time.
Oh, he did. And people thought that was fixed because, that was the period that Lowe's Motors Speedway existed. Yeah. Lowe's spent a lot of money to buy the naming rights. And then Jimmy went on this tirade and started winning. He won 3 in a row in the 600. And Jimmy Johnson didn't need anything to be fixed to win. He was that good. And that team was just a tick ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, I agree with that. So you were in on starting PRN, right? You were there when they work got started?
Well, I wasn't at Bristol. It got started back in the the late 70s and did a handful of races at Bristol Motor Speedway and the old Nashville Fairgrounds Raceway, and then a couple of others. And then the guys that founded it bid on doing the Coke 600 at Charlotte. And then after the race was over, they didn't have any money to pay their rights fee. So Humpy said, well, what do you have? And they said, well, we got a box of equipment and a list of station. He goes, good, I'll take that. So that's how Charlotte Motor Speedway, I jokingly say it got won in a poker game, got a hold of the Performance Racing Network. I started there in 88, and we only had 2 races. We did the Coca-Cola 600. It was the Coke 600 then. It wasn't still the World. And the National 500 or the Miller Lite or Oakwood Homes 500 race. And those are the only times that we were on the air when I got there in February of 1988. And I replaced a guy named Jay Howard, who went on to become one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the country when he did Jay Howard Events and does the pre-race shows at practically all of the NASCAR races.
Wow. That was, and I'll tell you what, I thought it was really a great thing when MRN had you come over and call part of a race with MRN. I thought that was a great food too.
You know, it's funny. I watched that last night. That lives over on YouTube. If you type in my name, and I'm vain enough that I've done that, they've got about a 12-minute piece that they put together with race footage and live video and the calls from that 12 minutes. That was really classy. Their team, their higher ups did that, and Chris Swartz, the general manager, took me out to barbecue one day and asked me if I wanted to do it. I couldn't say yes fast enough. I just thought that was really classy, because the only way I was ever going to do that was if they asked me, because MRN owns the rights to that race. Yeah. And they were nice enough to come in and let me work 12, 15 minutes. And it was a real thrill, and they treated me great. And that's one of the nicest things that's happened to me along the way this year, among many other nice things.
I mean, you're doing this, you're going away tour, I guess you want to say.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to gotten some great things along the way.
Well, yeah, some people that I work with came up with this. They said, we just don't want you to slip off. If you're going to do this, let's make a big deal about it. And so they did Doug's Last Lap. I got to do that at Daytona, which was phenomenal. That's hard to beat. At Atlanta, I gave the Gentlemen Start Your Engines command. That was a little nerve-wracking. That's nervous. Drove the pace car at Charlotte. Ty Gibbs came up, tapped me on the back a little bit, let me know he was there. That's as scary, guys, as 45 miles an hour can be. And you're on cruise control because you have to maintain a certain speed. But that was just mega neat to get to do that. I waved the green flag at Bristol Motor Speedway, and I've got to do a couple other really pretty exceptional things this year. Got a couple of nice gifts along the way. Dover gave me a Miles the Monster, a smaller version of the trophy, which is just so cool. And the folks up at Nashville gave me a Gibson Les Paul guitar. I don't play, but it's really a pretty neat item. So people have gone out of the way to make this a really, really special year. And that's one reason I'm going to stay retired. I'm not going to ruin all of these nice things that people have done for me by saying, I want to come back. So once I hang up the headset, that'll be that.
Well, I tell you, we're the better people for having you part of racing. I mean, really, I've enjoyed everything you've done in the sport, and it's really great to have you on here with us. And I want to say congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
Everything goes good for you, and we'll see you down at Charlotte. We're coming to Charlotte. We'll see.
Oh, fantastic!
So
you're coming down for the Roval, the newly redesigned Roval.
I can't wait to see all the new.
Yeah, so don't act like you don't know us in the media center.
I know. I was going to say let's get you up to the booth and let you see how we put the race together. I like doing that for people because I don't know that folks you guys do, because you're in the business, fully appreciate what goes into putting on a race broadcast and how much work and how many people it takes to execute this. We'll have 10 or 11 people on the air with microphones during the Roval. That's a lot. That's a lot to coordinate. And you can come up, watch our producer, Laura Beth Barnhart, do her magic. And see how we put that together. And I'm curious to see what this new layout for the Roval looks like. I like the Roval. I know some people say, no, let's go back. I like the difference. And there was a reason they put the Roval in. It's because nobody was coming to the 500 anymore. The attendance dropped off to almost nothing. And I think the Roval puts on a heck of a show.
I do too. I've loved it. We've been there ever since they started the Roval, and I think that's really cool. I think it's a great thing to have.
Yeah, and we'll most definitely take you up on going up to see that, because I'd be interested to see
Yeah,
how that operates. Because how many people are speaking in your ear during your broadcast, and is that hard to try to keep from what people are saying in your ear and not over talk? And you know what I'm saying?
It takes a little getting used to. You have to get used to it. I have NASCAR in my ear. They're kind of down low. I like to say they're kind of down in the mud, but I can hear them when they say put it out, meaning the caution flag, and they'll usually identify the turn, and it might be before we see it. So I know what's going on. They call out penalties, and I listen for those. So a lot of times I'll know those as quick as they're executed. You've got to be certain and not guess on who they say. If they say 22, you can't say 2. You got to be right. So NASCAR in one ear that I'm listening to, program, which is what is on the air. It's what is going out on the air. That's called program. I'm obviously listening to that and listening to what all of our other announcers are doing. Our director, Laura Beth Barnhart, can talk to me individually, or she can talk to a group, and she can say, time to go to break. Let's do this. You said that wrong or whatever. She can talk to me. And Mark Garrow and I can talk to each other closed circuit, and nobody hears us but each other. So if Mark wants to say, we need to do this, we hadn't done this in a while, he can tell me that, and that's off air. So there's a lot going on there, and you just have to decide what's important. And I listen to the director first.
So when you say what's going out on the air, is that a delay, or is that sort of live as y'all are?
No, that's live. We dropped the delay on our broadcast a few years ago. We were running delay, and the FCC got a little more lenient about extraneous cuss words getting on the air. I mean, yeah, if we got on there and said things on purpose, yes, we'd get in trouble. But, you know, if a driver gets hot and drops something inappropriate, we just apologize and move on. We ran a 10-second delay for a long time. But, no, I'm hearing program. Everything I hear in my ear is live. So I've got about 4 different sources at any one race broadcast that I'm listening to.
Yeah, I would have that all jacked up.
You'd be amazed at how quickly you can sort of prioritize it and figure out what you need to be listening to.
You and Mark Garrow are a great team. I tell you right now.
Don't give Mark that much credit.
Yeah, I got to give him credit. I mean, that's a great team. And every now and then, you know, I know you have to work with a guy named Lenny Baticki.
Yeah. You know, Mark and I will take credit for finding Lenny calling BMX races down in Florida years and years ago. And then once he found out who we were, he wouldn't quit leaving us alone. So he finally just badgered us enough that we hired him to work some races back on the old Capital Radio Network. So Lenny's been at this game a long time. He is probably the best informed announcer in the country when it comes to grassroots short track racing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing. He took me up. I went to North Wilkesboro last year to a Cars Tour race. And he walked me around the pits, and he didn't just know the drivers. He knew their crew chiefs, their girlfriends, their parents, and everybody in there. This guy had spent some time talking to. And I was really impressed at his depth of knowledge of that. And he's that way about a lot of different subject matters.
That's his ADD stick kicking in.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. 100%. I agree. But Lenny's been at this game a long time, and he's worked some PRN broadcasts. We brought him in for a couple of the Bristol dirt races because he was our dirt expert. He was the guy that on the air we went and talked to. Okay, what's the track doing? Because I don't know. It's dusty. It's not dusty. That's pretty much all I know. And Lenny was able to really break that down.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, I got one more question for you. We got a kid here at Weiss. He runs limited, and he does some broadcasting stuff. what kind of advice would you give a young kid that wants to get into this? He's pretty good. We only allow him to come on every once in a while because we don't want him to take our job.
Well, that's good. That's smart. First of all, Atlee, do everything you can to get behind the mic, and whatever that is, if that's announcing the lineups at the Little League game or the JV basketball, or, you know, I started by doing the go-karts at a place called West Track over at Winston-Salem on Saturday nights, and do anything you can to get time behind the microphone, because it's like racing. You know, you got to do laps to get good. If you're going to get better at broadcasting, find every opportunity you can and take advantage of that. I don't care what it is. It all helps you in the end. So just do as much as you can, as often as you can. And that's the best advice I can give you.
You know, that's definitely, I agree with that. I've always been told it's like seat time in racing, where you just, the more you're behind the mic, the more it can help you and you face, you know, different scenarios. So, you know, definitely love what you're doing. I've listened to PRN all the time. So congrats on a great
that. Guys, the best thing that's happened this year is going to the races and you bump into people, and people do recognize you, even though you're working on radio, and they say things just like he said there. I've listened to you all my life. Me and my dad used to listen to you while we were fishing, or, you know, I listened to you when you called this race and so won.
Yeah.
That just makes you feel good. That makes you feel like, well, okay, I've been doing this and somebody's actually been paying attention.
Yeah, I know. I can understand that. Well, Doug, thank you very much for spending some time with us tonight. We'll see you at Charlotte, and we'll get with you when we get down there and see if we can do that. Go up to the booth and watch.
We'll get you up there. Reach out to me ahead of time, and we'll set you up. Thanks for having me on. I'm really glad this worked out tonight.
I'm too. Thank you very much. It's an honor to have you on. Thank you.
It was really cool.
Yeah. So make sure we remember to do
Yeah,
that.
because I would love to see the backside of that and how that works, you know?
All right.
I mean, our little setup here would look chintzy compared to that
That's nothing.
Got that right. So anyway,
I'm sure we can learn something, you know?
all right, let's get the main, I guess we got to call them the main part of the show. All right. You go on that end, I'll go on this end. We'll let them come up here beside Atlas.
All right.
Stay in there, Atlas.
Stay
look.
here.
Sit next to a superstar.
Yes, sir. Talk trash to us.
Computer.
Well, you won't have it long, because I will turn it.
Trouble and double trouble.
Yeah, that's what it is. Double trouble. All right. We've got the legends of the Satterlys with us, Amanda and Jared.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, have you been racing a lot this year? I don't think you've raced a whole lot, have you?
I mean, other than the rainouts, I've been racing. Other than also catching fire.
That was
But
She was hot.
yeah, other than that, yeah, I've been racing.
Okay, I know whether you made that many races. I knew you.
Jared, didn't you want to straighten him out on who races what?
Oh yeah, I'm a grand side. I don't want to drive stupid streets.
And I don't really super streets, but
That's
so she did miss one race. The
Oh,
week that I brought the limited out, she missed that race because she was in 2 arm races.
oh yeah, I did miss that.
But other than that, she's made every race this year.
Now, what did I do? Y'all didn't threw me off completely.
I was confused. You don't make it any easier though. There, like, so many cars every week. I know I've seen you in the modified, in the limited, the grand stocks, and it's a lot. I
Are
mean,
you still coming and doing go-karts, or you don't do?
No, I've got go-kart bodies hanging on the wall. That's as close as I want to get to go-karts.
So, with all these cars, I mean, what do you decide when you go out there and flip a coin and say, well, I'll take this one to race this week?
No, the limited's broken, so I'm not bringing that. It needs probably about $1,000 in parts, so it's just, set back there in the corner.
Yeah, when you have 15 cars, you can do that, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
You put Kim K in timeout. Wow.
I've been in the limited ones this year, the modified ones this year, super street ones. I'm supposed to race Hampton Heat Night in super street for another guy, but with the scheduling and whatnot, he went home. Can't blame him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was going to be a really, really late night for him. He lives 2.5 hours from here.
So,
So I got no hard feelings on it.
yeah,
It was
he'd have
cool
got
to
home
get
at
to go out
8 or
and drive
9.
a car. I got to drive it in practice and qualify, and that was cool.
Yeah.
So what do you like about what you're racing? I mean, you know, did your dad fix your car like it's supposed to be so you can race good? Or, you know?
Yeah, especially after the last race. I was beat up pretty good. Had scuffs every corner but the right rear. So. And the bumper is all some sort of, really badly done BBL. That's what I called it. From Nate.
I'm trying to keep this thing on the computer. With all these cars you got, I mean, it's just, do you know what you got to do to each one of them to get them ready, or?
I only got 3.
But you got more cars than that.
I work with 8 cars.
He's like the little Hendrick Motorsports.
And then I spot for a few others that aren't in.
Do you
that
have a free
8.
weekend?
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah.
We gotta have a talk too. I do believe last week you had a guest on here that I spot for.
Who was that? I forgot.
Must have been Lacey.
Yeah, that'd be Lacey. What was the statement you made? Only listen to about half of what this guy tells you.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you about second practice last weekend.
Tell us about the first practice.
She wasn't out there that
I know, I heard about that one.
Second practice, she's out there ripping around that track, and I'm yelling at her, "Don't pinch it off coming down the front stretch. Get it up by the wall. I need you to do it." Nothing at all. She's not listening to a word I said. So I don't know which half you told her not to listen to, or which half.
It's Jack's fault.
She comes pulling in, and her dad says, "Oh no, dude, I didn't realize you were going up on the spotter stand. She didn't have a radio."
Oh,
But you did a great job.
I thought I did.
now we're gonna have to talk to them about this. I came around through the pits back there, and I pulled up by their car, and he looked at me and he said, "What do you think about a driver who don't even show up for practice?" I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, she was around there talking to some of her friends, and she didn't even come around here for practice."
Yeah, that sounds right.
I said, "Dang, I didn't." And then she goes out there and didn't have a radio. I mean, she's determined she ain't
Well,
gonna
you
listen
told
to
her not to listen to him.
Taking your advice.
She
Well, you
figured
know what?
I think it's the only person I've heard take Jack's advice.
I don't take it.
You can be fired from
he
your
said
own
the show's
show.
over. He's
Fire
already.
content. I'm kicked off.
He said he got advice from Doug Rice. He'll read your advice.
Well, athletes. Let's have it story. It didn't invite you on here to take it out on me. Didn't do it.
How you been, buddy? Been all right? I mean, you did great in that Hampton heat race, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. He's already kicked me to the curb.
But you run in all these divisions. I mean, what's your favorite? Like, what do you get out there and you're just excited to run at all the cars?
Seriously, I love spotting.
Really?
I mean, I really, truly love spotting. And probably more so for Amanda than anybody else I spot for, because it's not typical for a father and child to be able to have that relationship, from the spotter stand to a car. And her and I just really do work well with it together.
So you
I've
just listen
really
to that.
loved working with Lacey
Yeah.
and helping her just get to that side of understanding what she needs to do better in the car.
Does she listen,
Who?
Lacey?
Yes, actually, she truly
Does she?
does. Because when I first worked with her the first day, I came up on the top because we had the haulers in the infield, and she was just riding around the bottom. It looked like she had that thing in gear, just idling around there. And I'm like, okay, I need you to push gas pedal here. I need you to go. I need you to push gas. Get up off of that yellow line now. Nothing. And So then the second practice of the night, I brought her up and I said, I want you to watch what these guys are doing from this perspective to see this. And her and I talked a little bit, and then she's spoken with Amanda, and we came out. I don't remember if it was the following race or if it was 2 races later, and she was running the line the right way, and she actually completed the race flag to flag. I think we were 4 laps down that night, but that's the first time she's completed a race. So it's nice to be able to have that ability to coach as well as just say, hey, there's cars coming behind you or whatever.
Yeah.
As far as your question on what I like getting into the most, I really had fun last year in the Super Street, other than trying to figure out and falling behind on the handling of it with the 11 car. This year, the modified, I had more fun in the modified a month ago when I got in it than I think I've had in
Those
it.
things look fun.
They are.
So we got rid of the dirt car?
Yes, yep. That went away February, March, somewhere in there. That went away. No time for it.
That's true.
When's your other daughter gonna get her driver's license?
Better be soon. I'm not got throwing her boyfriend around anywhere.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's her taxi service.
I really am. She doesn't pay me either.
Well,
I think I had to throw her under the bus.
Then or something earlier said it looks like she's in a zoo enclosure over there. Hey, how you doing, Dave?
so Amanda, when he's spotting for you, have you ever gotten mad and just said, shut up?
No, I haven't. I can't even reach the radio to turn it down if I wanted to either.
So that was a move you made. Yeah, I got you.
Just
You
keep
put
it
in.
far away.
I was spotting for Miley Smith a few weeks back, and she's not doing what I'm telling her to do either. As far as she was getting ready to get lapped, and I'm like, why isn't she listening? Why isn't she moving down? And she unplugged her earbuds.
On purpose?
Now, I don't think it was on purpose. She came to me afterwards and she's like, yeah, I didn't hear anything you said because my earbuds got unplugged.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it happens to you, it ain't no big deal.
Well, I quit doing the earbuds. I had the speakers in my.
Oh,
they're still-
really?
Yeah, it's so nice.
I don't think I could actually use them just because of my hearing loss I've got.
It's actually way better.
Is it really?
It is. You ain't got to worry about keeping up with the earbud. I love it. Bought one of those stylo helmets and bought them with it in it. And I didn't know if I'd like it or not. I loved it.
So
And I
Amanda,
thought you wouldn't be able to hear much, but you can hear just as well.
who do you spot for? Somebody said you spot for some people.
Everybody, if anyone needs me, and I'm not racing, but Matt, 45 in the Super Street.
Memphis.
Yeah. I don't know, just anybody. You, I guess.
Yeah, she spotted for me.
So you spot for him? when he
Yeah.
races?
Does he listen?
Sometimes.
I can't believe it.
You just say leaders coming.
She spots for Kevin Rickman in
Oh,
the
yeah,
Super Truck.
Kevin.
She spots
Okay.
for Steve in the 11 Pro 6.
Okay.
A lot.
So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty good deal. So I know you're enjoying having, the cars and having her racing, and it's got to be a lot of fun to be able to be out here with her and her racing.
It is.
So, and your dad comes too, right? Your dad come most of the time,
I've
or?
only been here twice this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because he raced last year, right? Didn't
He
he?
did.
Did he
Yeah.
run the Grand Stock last year or something?
But this year it's been a conflict with his work schedule. He's got the charter boat down here. Currently, it's down here in Hamilton, and pretty much every Saturday's been booked on the charter boat. So he hasn't been able to make it down to the track. And
He's got to have his priorities. Switch it up.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, you would think, Saturday night at the track. She fired him, and we just.
I
That's all it
know.
is.
I don't know if it's
I think she was threatening him last year here. It's my car.
Yeah. You can't hurt her. My
I thought-
precious.
How many of the family comes? I mean, because you usually your wife,
Yeah,
the no driving daughter comes.
She's our photographer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's got a job. For that.
She-
Oh, she's
she-
fired.
She does
Ooh.
her. She does her.
Is that how she works out gas money?
She don't even post my pictures.
Hey, you know how long it took me to get her to post pictures when I drove? She's like, no, the colors on the car don't work good.
She's only putting her stuff on good stuff. She ain't posting the bad stuff, apparently.
Yeah.
Put them up there.
The cat comes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
So my kitten somehow in the morning. Well, I was in North
Somehow in the
Carolina.
morning.
I was in North Carolina driving back up, but Checker somehow ended up in the trailer, and he was at Langley, and we were unloading stuff out of the trailer, and he was in the corner crying, scared. Poor thing. Had to drive him all. I already drove like 4 hours, and then had to drive him home, drive all the way back up. I love
Luckily,
him,
that
though.
wasn't your race night.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that.
It's too bad they can't get the sister to do that.
Yeah, she ain't got that. That's probably why she ain't getting her license.
She would have taken the golf cart if we'd offered that.
Um,
You drive a golf cart, right? Yeah. Okay. Just no
so
car.
she can drive.
Oh yeah.
I guess.
She's driven her mom's car. She's driven it up and down. We live a mile back in on a private road, so she drives it around some
She wrecked it.
reluctantly. But
Emotional support cat. There you go.
Yeah, he is. I love him.
Oh, I just thought about this. Has there ever been a night, like a race night, where you've been involved in every single division in some capacity, whether it's racing or spotting or working on the
It's
car?
probably been close.
Yeah.
like maybe
Close.
6 of like a
no, and I say that because I don't do anything with any of the legends, and I don't do that. I don't do anything with any late model teams. But I mean, maybe kind of close because we'll come out here. We'll have 6 cars out
And I see like the super truck.
Yeah, we know.
here, like a traveling circus. Thankfully, they're not all coming from my house.
Yeah, well, I think the circus is coming back here. Are you gonna be there?
I don't know. They haven't called me yet.
Oh, y'all, wow.
It's
It's
funny,
fun.
but I think we think you had the most fun out here, though. It's been
That's it. Yeah, no, that's it.
I
Yeah.
have fun. I've always told Amanda that if it's not fun, we're not going to do it. It's not
sure.
worth it. I mean, we spend so much money to do what we do, and if you're not having fun with it, why are you going to bother with it? 2018, she was getting frustrated with the Sunday karting out here, and she's like, "Do I have to go race?" I said, "No, it doesn't cost me anything for it to sit right there in the garage. I don't care." And the same goes for the car. It just doesn't matter. We built her to limited, and she came out last year. She ran it one time, and she's like, "Well, I'm not coming back till I get faster." I think she practiced one more time after that, and then she started spotting for people. And she took the season off and just on the spotter stand doing what she was doing. So didn't cost me any money for it to sit.
Mhm.
Well, it's pretty cool. At least you know. And now you got so who all do you have in your shop? Angela Stella
Just directly in our shop is Angelo and my 3 cars.
and your 3 cars.
We work with the Pro 6.
We work with Steve Ravenstein, the 11 Pro 6, Kevin Rickman with the 10 Super Truck, Angelo with the 72 Super Street, Wesley Newell with the 11, but I don't know if he's going to be back this year or not medically. We help the 45 out, but that's kind of the Super Street, Matt Kaminskis. There's not a lot we do. I mean, they come like the way I like to come, completely ready to go, unload it, and it's ready to go. When Josh Crabtree actually shows up with a car or his mother, we help them out however we can. I help Robbie Morris how much, it's really difficult to help Robbie. I hate that because it was 2.5 hours.
Right.
So it's too far of a drive to be able to be hands-on in the shop with them. But when we're at the track, I try to help them as much as I can.
Mhm.
There's got to be others I'm forgetting.
No, I can't think of any.
I can't.
I mean, you need at least 2 or 3 more.
I know.
Get add a legend to the late model.
Well, there you go.
I've got a late model. I just don't have the money to make it a late
To
model.
convert it, yeah, with the yeah.
Yeah.
And I have no interest in legends.
Mm-mm.
I don't like them. I
They're definitely a handful.
Yeah.
well, it's not that. It's personal feeling is they're not safe.
Mhm.
I don't like things that your legs are sticking way out there in the front.
But you see that wreck at Dominion this weekend?
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
was- that was-
Flipped and hit the yeah.
Oh, was that Dominion? I saw
Yeah.
a video of the wreck, but I didn't see what track
That was
it
a
was.
Dominion.
Okay,
I don't know.
but
if
I
he was
remember
hurt.
when
They said he wasn't hurt.
when Lightfoot, that was Dominion, wasn't it?
Yes,
When
yes.
when he got busted up in one.
Yep.
I just
Butterbean broke both his legs. I don't know where. I don't know if that was. I don't know where that. I know it was in a legend. But I think it was both his legs.
That was a
Maybe
good one.
not. I can't remember.
yeah,
a
I've
long
just
time
never
ago.
been a fan of them. We didn't run bandos with Amanda, and more or less it was just because I didn't see the sense in the bandos. I enjoy working with the kids that are in the bandos,
Mhm.
but I didn't want her to go from a go-kart to something that you're just going to hold the floorboard all the way around
It's a bigger
and then
go-kart.
have to learn how to drive the bigger car. When we had Albert and Chad offered up the opportunity to get into Grand Stock that first year, so we skipped that.
Mhm.
All right, Amanda, give a shout out to all your sponsors and whoever helped
And
you. You got all that together?
your photographer.
She's still fired. No, I love Jessie. She's the photographer, and Liz. All the help I get from him, everyone. Everyone kind of helps each other. He's not the only one that helps. Kind of everyone helps.
Yeah.
But we have Maritime Mayhem fishing charters. It's my grandpa. Y'all should get some fishing trips. G-Town Bait and Tackle. I want to say that's it, right? I'm missing people.
Martin's Custom Marine LLC.
I don't have it written down. That's
I mean, who knew you were going to be on?
That's it. I know. That's what
Hey, yeah, but look, the last time, well, no, I can't say. The first time we came in, she had it written down. But what did she say 3 words the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
She's moved up now.
Exactly.
Maybe there's hope
I've
she'll get her
heard-
license too. Maybe, she started out not talking. Now she's talking. She's not driving. Maybe she'll start driving.
Jeez.
I don't want her to drive.
No, you just want to run around all the time.
Oh no, she can.
You know how many miniature heart attacks I have riding down here tonight?
Right when you rode with her.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, people can't drive at all.
Put my
Everybody
headset
else.
on and start watching videos. I don't even want to see what's gonna.
You sit in
Backseat
the back seat?
driver. Yes,
Yep.
he was being a backseat driver.
Oh, well.
No, we got a great group. The people that come out to help us that aren't associated directly with cars, Chris Ross and a few others that they're just there. It's like every week. It doesn't matter if it's something out there in the outside pits with super streets, the grand stocks, the trucks, whatnot, or if it's a week that I'm going to bring something down to the infield. We still get a group of people that come out and they help us out. And it's really appreciated what they do because they can go spend the weekend with their families, but instead they choose to come out here
Yeah.
and spend it with us. So,
You're a good time.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Sometimes he's all right. I mean,
every now and then.
I still owe him one for taking pictures, and I was out there trying to track that day.
I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that one. I figured I was getting payback for the other day when I come walking through the gate and I go, oh, hey, the legend, Scott, how you doing? Oh, hey, Jack. Ooh.
Yeah, don't. I don't know what you laughing at.
You're both gonna be pissed off.
You got anything you'd like to say, Atlee? You got any people you'd like to thank for
Yeah, like Jack.
here?
Well,
You're welcome for having me here.
I'd like to thank Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and all of their partners and sponsors. Again, for the announcing this Saturday, I definitely got to thank Chuck for the opportunity and, everybody with Langley and I mean, all of my real life are not real life. This is not virtual. All of my racing sponsors with Wands, Water Street Grill, Papa John's. Had Papa John's tonight. It was really good. Premier Heating and Air Services, Carolina Family Pool and Patio, Dayton State Farm, Sign Media, Amsoil East Coast Synthetics, Lamb Exterminating, The Sign Shop, Fame All Star Central, Tennessee Broadcasting, Primo Transportation.
Damn.
Is there anybody else I'm forgetting?
I mean, he's
Probably.
Wait and see if he doubles up.
he stalled at like 3, and I thought that was like close to over, and he went like 5 more.
Who? Oh, Colonial Gardens and Landscaping, and Colonial Aesthetics, and I think that's about it. So.
Yeah, that's enough.
He doesn't have any food
His
sponsors.
dad's over.
He's got
Did you see
food.
that
Oh,
long
shoot.
ago his dad pulled out over there?
Thank you, Eddie, and Paquette Power Solutions. That's what I gotta give a big thank you to them.
Who?
Paquette Power Solutions.
Oh yeah.
Keith Paquette.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I hope
Famous
you,
Jack Dodson guest.
yeah, he was on here. It'd be your last time. But
Dang.
next time you get that microphone in your hand, you see me walking down the road,
I will interview
you better stop me.
I will. I will. Trust me. Langley Speedway celebrity Jack Dodson guest.
That's right.
I may
I mean,
never
his
be-
head can't get no bigger. You see how big his head is?
You
That what he
really,
just did was he did he
you really want to go there, Scott? Really? Do you really want to go there now? That would not be not a good thing for you to do. Anyway,
Mm.
all right. Well, we appreciate everybody being with us tonight. And we'll be back next Tuesday night, minus Atlee Weiss. Don't you start nothing. I see you getting ready to start something. That ain't gonna happen. Well, please like and share our show, and we'll see you again next Tuesday night.